I'm Maxim Tamaroff with the Jacksonville Daily News, and I'm joined here by
Sergeant Williams from the
Wait.
Jacksonville Police Department.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So we're doing a little experiment here today. It's about 90 degrees outside, as you can see. We're going to put this on the dashboard of Mr. Williams' car over here. We're going to see how much the temperature rises and how quickly it rises. We're doing this just to show, the dangers of leaving pets, like children, anything that can melt in the car.
Yeah, so we're put it in there now?
I think so, yeah.
Sure.
Of illnesses. There are certain laws that you can be charged with, animal cruelty. When it comes to pets, we'll talk about pets first. So if you leave your pet in a vehicle, obviously they have a fur coat. So it's not like somebody dressed in a t-shirt or shorts or flip-flops. Obviously they're going to become overheated more quickly than a person. So we recommend that you call your local law enforcement agency. We don't advise people to take matters into their own hands and break windows and get the pet out if they think the pet's in distress. First thing is call your local law enforcement agency while you're waiting on us. Once you've reported it, while you're waiting on us to respond, maybe have somebody go inside Walmart and see if management or Kmart, whatever store it may be, see if they can start paging for a person that owns this car, get the tag number. And for JPD, we have a quick response time, so it won't take us long to get there. Same thing goes for if you see a child in a car that's unattended. Even if the car is running with the air conditioning on, which we've seen that because people leave the air conditioning on thinking that it's going to be safe. We're running here for 5 minutes. You never know what the lines are going to be like. You never know what you're going to run into. There are laws against that, leaving your child unattended in a vehicle. Thieves are always looking for opportunities. They might not see the child in the back seat. They're looking for a vehicle to steal. So they just break the window and drive off with your vehicle, not realizing the child's in the back seat.
Is that something that's happened here before in recent times?
I don't recall that happening, where somebody actually stole the vehicle and there was a child inside the vehicle. Obviously, yes, we've had stolen vehicles before while the cars were left running, but I don't recall a child being in the vehicle when that happened.
You spoke about quick response times, but there is also, the fast amount of time it takes for temperatures to rise inside the vehicles. We put this in a minute ago. You can see it's already
115 degrees.
Yeah,
So still climbing.
It's way past that. And today is pretty cloudy day, but can you talk about how long it would take to get to unbearable temperatures inside a log car?
Obviously in less than 10 minutes. Those temperatures will climb about 10 degrees in 5 or 7 minutes. Obviously on a 90-degree day with the sun out, windows up, it may be quicker than that. It doesn't start, it doesn't take long for those heat elements, to start affecting the body and the brain and things like that, which some of those illnesses could be irreversible.
You talked about laws preventing people from leaving animals in there, but if you do find a child inside a car, what kind of laws are talking about?
So the same thing, again, we just, we don't want people taking it into matters into their own hands. Obviously, if you see a child and, that child seems to be unresponsive, maybe those are different circumstances, but, we really encourage them to call 911, and that should be your first call. That gets us on the way. They will, in those circumstances, when it's an actual person, they'll go ahead and dispatch rescue and fire, as well as police. And so again, it goes back to just notifying law enforcement in your area about those type of situations. And there are, depending on if the child's injured, there can be charges ranging from misdemeanor to felonies against those type of people.
Do you have any specific examples so far this year of people leaving animals or pets inside their vehicle?
So yes, we've already had quite a few calls. We just had one earlier today where somebody had left their 2 pets inside the vehicle. They said the windows were cracked. As soon as the call came in and the officers were dispatched, evidently the people called right back and said the owners had come out and drove away. So again, it comes back. You know, a lot of people hesitate. They're like, they see the animal in the vehicle. They kind of contemplate, what should I call? You know, it didn't look that bad. They seem okay. And, you know, 5 minutes would go by before they call us. So that's why I said, go ahead and call right away and get us on the way. Like I said, just get us, you know, heading that way instead of just thinking about what you should or what you shouldn't do and stuff. You know, if we get there and things aren't what they appear to be, then hey, no harm, no foul. So it's all good.
So for those of you just joining us, we are doing an experiment of putting this thermometer inside Officer Williams' car. It was a little under 90 when we put it in about 7 minutes ago or something, and it is now almost 120. If you guys have any questions pertaining to this, do ask them in the comments.
So some of the things I like to, so people talk about tips, well, what can I do? Or people may say, you know, I don't understand how people leave their child and forget about their child in the back seat. Routine change. People get into a routine every day. You know, one of the parents takes the child to daycare, you know, all year long, every year, and all of a sudden there's a change in that, where maybe a grandparent or a friend or a spouse is now taking just that one day. So a change of routines, you know, can be a factor in that. So maybe have some type of plan in place. So if that's the case, the routine changes. That hey, the parent that normally takes the child, or the grandparent that normally takes the child, hey, maybe call that person and say, hey, did everything get dropped off okay? You know, we're good to go. And that's just kind of that reminder. Maybe put your purse in the back seat or a briefcase. You know, maybe even your cell phone. Most people have cell phones, and they typically have them on their person, so maybe just set that cell phone in your back seat, and you know, I'm sure they won't forget about their cell phone. But anyway, once they arrive on scene, or on scene, excuse me, but their destination, you know, they just take that quick glance to grab whatever it is that they may need, and you know, it forces them to look in the back seat.
Have you had instances in previous years where people like forget a child or a pet because of like the routine change?
I can't speak on the routine change. Yes, we have had calls where parents leave their child in the vehicle. A lot of those calls are running into the convenience store, and the cars are running, and the child was asleep, and their excuse, well, I didn't want to wake him up. I'm just right inside the convenience store. Again, since I've been at the police department, there's been an increase, in my opinion, in vehicle fires over the last 4 or 5 years. So you're leaving your vehicle running again. It could get stolen. The vehicle could catch fire. So, you know, things happen. And so just wake that child up and bring them in with you. And again, you can face charges for leaving in the vehicle.
And I think we've finally reached over 120 degrees in this vehicle in about 10 minutes. So is that a pretty survivable temperature over there?
Well, long term, probably not. You know, like I said, you know, there could be some irreversible damage done at those temperatures if we extend the amount of time. Again, I don't know what those time limits would be, but I know I certainly wouldn't want to be in that vehicle right now.
I think that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just ask everybody just to, you know, we all have busy lives, and our minds are constantly going, and just take a second just to slow down and just kind of think about what you're doing and take a quick look in that back seat. I say just leave your pets at home. If you're going shopping to the mall or going grocery shopping at Walmart and going to be in there for a certain amount of time, just, you know, leave your pets at the house.